It's time for our Seen and Unseen segment where we expose the stories behind the headlines. All right, throughout the lockdown, CNN anchors seem to have increasingly become the story. For details, we're joined by Raymond Arroyo, Fox News contributor, author of Will Wilder 3, The Amulet of Power, now out in paperback. Raymond, what is happening over there at James Earl Jones's old This Is CNN?
Laura, the first rule of journalism is don't inject yourself into the story. But there seems to be a deliberate attempt to graft a slew of CNN anchors onto this COVID crisis. A number of them have contracted the virus and emoted about their personal experiences. It almost appears as if they've launched a series of new reality shows. You could call this one, Are You Sicker Than a CNN Anchor?
With coronavirus, it's like, I'm kind of okay in the beginning, and then, oh, no, you're not. My body gave me the middle finger.
There are two different tests that we are all becoming familiar with. A diagnostic test and this one, that test for antibodies.
Yep, I've got a positive diagnosis for COVID-19. I just have a nasty cough, which thankfully tonight, because of our excellent technical staff, you haven't heard me too much spluttering away.
As for me, I tested negative.
Where's your suit?
I worked on this hard.
Your black tie and the white shirt?
I'm too sick. Christina said it didn't look right for me to be sick in a funereal suit. It looks too much like what I might be buried in.
Sorry. I said I wasn't going to do this. Jesus.
In my sickest days, I stopped thinking and really started feeling. I started thinking a lot about, joy. Why don't I go to the beach more?
Laura, the self-referential emoting is, I guess, what's so galling. But look, people are dying. People are losing their livelihoods. Yeah. Chances are young and healthy anchors are not going to succumb to this disease. And to keep this narrative going every night that's so personal, it is disturbing because you lose all perspective. It's great to have perspective, but to become the story is a big problem here. And CNN really should tamp down their personal stories.
Well,
it's too much.
We're glad everybody's getting better, and they're always kind of nasty to us, but I just hope I'm sure they're all great people. I hope they're all okay, and I'm glad they're okay, and I'm glad they're.
I agree.
But I don't really get it. I mean, I guess is that the news? I guess it's the news that Chris Cuomo came out of the basement, which is good.
We're getting to that. But Anderson Cooper, who has not contracted the coronavirus, took a lifestyle tact, Laura, in his COVID storyline. Did you see that?
No. Well, is it contracted or contracted? I'm sorry.
Well, thanks for the fix. Anyway,
I saw that. No, I saw that. It was all about his quarantine grooming, right? You might call the show Vanderbilt Rules.
Last night I took a razor and buzzed my head, and I gave myself a giant bald spot. I've been walking around all day with my hand on my head.
I hope that grows back, Anderson. I think it will.
Anderson, now you will make that popular. And I will probably shave a hole in the side of my head.
I have like a Peaky Blinder haircut.
This is like Big Brother or something.
It is. It's becoming very personal. And Jeff Zucker years ago said that he wanted to create must-see TV, okay, and with a storyline. I read an article in 2017 where he said, I've always been interested in the facts, but I've always been interested in what's popular. And by the way, if you haven't got enough of Anderson Cooper, he's doing a COVID town hall this week with Alicia Keys. I kid you not. Now, the centerpiece, Laura, of the CNN reality universe has been Chris Cuomo, the COVID-positive anchor. You mentioned him earlier. He became the star of a multi-week cross-platform show, including his governor brother, that could have been called The Real House Husbands of the Hamptons.
The beast comes at night. My fever has gone up a couple of degrees. I'm not looking to scare people. I'm trying to do the opposite. I've lost 13 pounds in 3 days.
All right, here it is. The official re-entry from the basement. Just give you one of these. Just give you one of these. Just give you one of these.
What What's that?
If this were real, Laura, it would be fine, but it's not. It's not. As you said earlier, this was feigned. This was a feigned recovery. He was out bicycling while he pretended to be in the basement.
Yeah, no, he was out in the Hamptons looking at his property. God bless him. Glad he has property. But some bicyclist, I believe, saw him and started trying to COVID shame him. Okay, and said, why aren't you, I kind of hate those people too, frankly.
I agree.
You should be back home, was it a Chinese drone
But don't advertise.
Yeah, but then don't
advertise your quarantine and moralize about it with your brother every night, saying you're going to kill people when you're doing it.
All right.
It's outrageous.
Before we go, Joe Biden was back in the basement today with Earth Day with Al Gore. What? It didn't go well.
He was.
If we don't organize the world, who organizes it? Who organizes?